What up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, and I'm here with the review for American Horror Story 1984, Episode 9. Nope, Season 9, Episode 8. It's titled Rest in Pieces. So, you guys, without further ado, let's just jump into the video. Alright, so this episode, I'm not sure what was going on with it. I don't know if this was all taking place in the same day or what, because when we opened up the episode, it said one day before Halloween in 1989. So I'm assuming this is all encompassing of one night. So we see Donna and Brooke. So they're having breakfast at, I guess, a diner. And, Brooke is talking about what her plans are once Margaret is dead. I'm like, oh, okay. So then a girl named Stacy comes up to them and she's talking to them about how she's so fascinated with killing, with, serial killers. And she's like, you look so much like Brooke. She's like, your costume is really good. And I'm like, you think that's, I'm like, you can't be that stupid to not know that that's not a costume. But we'll get into that in just a minute. So then, I can't remember what the counselor's name is, the one from the first episode, the one that I will call Roadkill. I guess I'm gonna go back to calling him Roadkill because I don't remember his name. So we see him and he's walking along the road like what happened in the first episode, when the kids ran up on him. Actually, they ran over his ass, and it's the same thing. So we see Bruce. Bruce has managed to somehow get free from, being tied up. Remember last week's episode, Montana and Donna tied his ass up and cut his thumbs off. So, and then he asked them, like, so what happened to your thumbs? They're like, oh, 2 girls chopped my thumbs off and I'm looking for them bitches to kill them. So then we do see how he was able to get free. So there was a woman in a Mary Kay, Cadillac, and she pulled up on him, freed him. He strangled the bitch, choking her out. I'm like, God damn, she's stupid. And he threw her in the trunk. Now, mind you, she's in the trunk. And the camp counselor from 1970 turns around, and then, Bruce pulls the car over. The woman's like, let me go. You can let me go. I won't do this. I won't do that. He was like, real convincing, and whop, stabs her dead. I'm like, well, you asked for that one. Why would you pull over on the side of, I get it. The man is tied up, but why would you pull over? I'm sorry. Would not pull over. Just couldn't do it. So then we see Margaret. So Margaret is at the camp, and she's going off on her assistant Courtney because he did not tell her that the leading act was dead. And I'm like, what did you, okay. So then she tells him she wants him to make all the dead bodies disappear. I would have been like, well, what, if you want those bodies to disappear, guess what? You're gonna do it. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. You make them disappear. Won't be me. But we see Courtney just cutting up the bodies and putting them in bags and throwing them in another car. I'm like, well, Courtney, she must be paying you a pretty penny, because I wouldn't do it. I would have told her, look here, bitch, this is your camp, your act. This is all you. All you. This is all you up in here. Shout out to Brenda for that. This is all me up in here. You handle that. Ooh. Hey, baby. She getting it on Shakespeare. I love that movie. Love. Scary movie. Shakespeare in Love. But we're going to move on, you guys. All right. So, Courtney, he saw as the bands were getting ready to, set up, and Richard was there as well. Richard is watching the stage crew get ready. I'm like, this dude is so fucking creepy. And then the guy walks up and he opens up like a briefcase, and it has, I guess, like, actually I don't know what that stuff was in that briefcase, but Richard reached for it and pop, not on my watch. And he gives him a guitar pick, and he says, who do you work with? What did he ask him? He asked him, who's he with? He says, Satan. I'm like, we are going to do overkill with Satan. We're going to kill Satan to death with this show. So then we see Jingles and Richard, so they are fighting with each other, and then Bruce runs over Jingles, and then he realizes who Richard is. He's like, I'm a big fan. He's like, I want to supersede your killings. And I'm like, oh my God, this fascination with killing. We got 3 killers. I on this show, and they're nutcases. So then Richard is telling Bruce about Jingles, and he says his master will lead him to him. So he draws one of them stupid circles and he cuts himself, and he's bleeding over the circle. I'm like, oh, okay, can do without this one too. So then we see Stacy. So she goes to Donna's room. She's like, Donna, and Brooke was like, don't answer that. So she opens the door, and like I said, it's Stacy, and Stacy tells her, girl, I know exactly who you are, and you should come to my room. So what it is Stacy bought a VHS tape from someone about the execution of Brooke. So she knew all this stuff. So she's like, you must have gave her something that slowed her heart down. You're correct, ding dong. So then Brooke says, you know what? The reason why we're going to the camp is because I want revenge over Margaret Booth, because Margaret is the one who killed all those. Jingles didn't kill people in the 1970s. I didn't kill people 5 years ago. This was all Margaret's doing. Now she says, now I will take you to the camp and I'll show you everything happened, but you got to keep your big ass mouth closed. I'm like, oh my God, you trust her? So then we see Jingles. He comes back, and then that camp counselor from 1970 says, everything, the killing, the death thing, coming back to life, it'll get better with time. He's like, well, how many times have you died? He says, I've lost count. I'm like, damn. I mean, they did run you over. Like, whew. Moving on. All right, so next let's talk about Montana and Trevor. So they had sex with each other, and Montana is telling Trevor her plans, about killing people that comes to the camp. Maybe they can get someone there, like a medium or something, that can get them out. And if not, she'll have someone there that she can have sex with and have good conversation with. And he was like, well, maybe I can sit here and have good sex and good conversation with you. She was like, what about your wife? He says, that bitch, hate her. And, as they're getting ready to leave, we notice that Margaret is watching them. And I'm like, oh, God, this ain't going to end well. So then we see Richard and Bruce, and they're walking through the woods, and they're looking for Jingles. And Xavier shows up. He's like, you know what? I can take you to him. Like, I know where he is. He killed me, and I'm going to help you get him. And so then they go back and forth. And, Margaret shoots him up. I'm like, oh, God. Like, interesting. So then we see Brooke and Donna. So they're at the camp and they're showing Stacy. I think this is where the first time when the first place that she showed her was the episode when Jingles and Ramirez were fighting and Brooke was hanging from that tree. And she was like, wow, so all this happened here? Yes, Stacy, all that happened here. So then we see the others, and they have Jingles hanging from a tree, and they want to torture Jingles because he killed them, and he's like, but most of this stuff happened because of Ramirez, and if Ramirez was brought here by you, Montana, and she's like, yes, he was brought here by you, and she was like, he wasn't he's not what you guys want to play him out to be, because he says he needs to get to him because he's going to try to kill his son. She's like, he would never kill kids. He says, you don't know him. He says, the person that you knew is not the person that is out there now. Completely two different people. So then let's go back to Brooke. So Brooke is walking Stacy through the camp, and she takes her to that cabin where she was held, after Donna tranquilized her ass. And she was like, Margaret did this to you? She says, no, it was Donna. But don't tell her I told you, because she would be really pissed. So then Brooke wants to try to kill her, and Donna stops her. And she's like, no, you're not evil. Like, we don't do this. Like, we're here for one thing, and that's to get revenge over that bitch Margaret. So, Stacy takes off running, and she runs into Ramirez, and Bruce is there, and also Margaret, and they kill the bitch. And Margaret tells about what her plan is. She wants to kill every act there so she can. I'm like, girl, you was all about money, and you're psycho, completely psycho, totally psycho. All right, you guys, and then to close things out, we're gonna talk about Trevor. So Trevor found Montana, and Trevor's, telling Montana that he wants to stay there indefinitely with her. I'm like, so you want to kill yourself and live in a hell? Okay. Because he tells her he's in love with her, and I'm like, you're in love with a dead person? Okay. So then she tells him, Richard is her ex, and then he looks at her funny, and she went up on him. She's like, it's so crazy. I say that he's my ex, but these men, they get shrines or whatever. They get immortalized basically. And she's like, you know what's so funny? Since I've died, I've killed just as much as he has, and I really enjoy it. I'm like, no wonder she's a psycho. No wonder she attracted him. And then Trevor tells her, I feel like you can change. She says, no, I can't change. She says, go away, Trevor. She says, what I want is I want someone that's like me. I'm like, so you want someone that's a psycho, a serial killer? Okie dokie. So then, lastly, the other. So they, they kill Jingles, and then they throw him in a boat. They have him tied up, and then Montana, we see her walking up to the lake, and then Jingles, he rises up, and it was so freaking funny to me. So when he got somebody come up and grab him, I'm like, so that's Jason Voorhees. But it's actually, so then he comes to, and we see his mother and his brother, and he tells his mom basically that he failed his son and that he lost his Bobby. She says, yeah, you lost your Bobby, but you brought our Bobby back to me. And she thanks him for that. And then, she tells him that he basically made the ultimate sacrifice for his son. That camp is evil, bad, is nasty. And, they both tell him, hey, come, live with us, stay with us. You'll be good. And you guys, that was basically the episode. So be sure to like the video. Be sure to leave your comments. Like the video. Leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Hit the bell notification button. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. It's almost 2 in the morning. So if the video is kind of off, I do apologize. But it's almost 2 in the morning. But I'll see you guys later.